Hello and welcome to The Dance in the Blood, session 3. The scenario is from the collection called The Final Revelation, which is why the front page of this stream has The Final Revelation written on it. We may do further scenarios from this particular campaign series. I just thought I'd quickly explain that. So last time we left the player characters in the village of Mainstey. They had just completed some investigation around the village, including taking Jeffrey to the GPs, who was thoroughly baffled by his condition.
Because he's dead and walking
and
around
wasn't looking
talking.
entirely coping very well. They had also investigated the schoolhouse, and they had been to the Waring house where the elusive Jack Waring apparently once used to live.
I've got a
And
note
so
down. The schoolhouse was untouched since Jack left.
That's correct. Yes, that's what you found. And so we commence with things in the late afternoon or early evening, with the players reassembled in the Leewood Inn. I just want to add something here: is being unobservant, I managed to miss something that you found. So if you're, oh blast! Sorry, I'm just messing up my screen there. As I just get myself organised. And Helen Long, whilst you were in the schoolhouse, you found something that I missed. Whilst you were bored waiting for the others to complete their investigation into the records in the office, you were skimming through school exercise books, and you were struck by one particular story. It seemed to you, with your knowledge of anthropology, that it's a retelling of a local legend. It talks of rituals, particularly gruesome rituals, as the story that the child has written describes in quite a lot of detail a sacrificial victim being buried alive. It has a picture of a stone circle where this supposedly took place, and it's the same. You recognise it. You've got a painting of it sat back in your room in the hotel back in Keswick. Now, before we go any further, because I've jumped the gun a bit here, can I get you all to introduce yourselves, starting with B?
Hi, I'm B. I play Helen Long, a surrealist artist from London.
Bruce?
Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm playing Michael, a doctor looking for a bit of rest and recuperation.
Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Viscount Hilary Exeter, socialite and dabbler. Pleasure.
Andy?
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm playing Rosa Parker, and she is an antiques dealer. That's it, an antiques dealer.
Right. And Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonsey, a gentleman of the road.
Very good. As I say, you variously reassemble back into the Leewood Inn. The three of you who have just been investigating the schoolhouse find a somewhat lubricated Viscount sat in the bar with whatever the most expensive drinks that the place can provide, and Dr. Michael Laws, who is sitting with his brother, counselling him a bit, I think. Jeffrey's not looking terribly well at all.
Can I just check something?
Yes.
I've got Rosa found something last session, which was, it's in the handouts list as handout 3, exercise book.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I just want to check one thing. Was this in Rosa's handwriting?
No.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I shall show gentlemen, or should I now say brothers? I'm not sure. Does any of you recognise this handwriting? Is this any of your handwriting?
Oh, did I actually show you the right thing there?
No, you showed us the front piece, I think.
That was clever of me. Apologies. This exercise book.
Yes, that's the one. Does anyone recognise the handwriting? Is it anyone's handwriting?
No.
Okay, that's quite a chilly story.
I also found this, and I pull out the exercise book that I found. That kind of, I suppose, is just as creepy. Is that written in a similar handwriting?
No, different handwriting. It looks like a boy's handwriting.
I think
Perhaps a
maybe this goes beyond just us. To whenever. When did they say that the schoolhouse was closed again?
When Jack left, it's been closed since Jack left. Was he the teacher?
He was a teacher. I mean, this is a small school in a village in 1930s. It's not like a large modern place with a substantial staff. It was basically he ran it, and you actually found a note from one of the children on the desk saying you weren't here, so I went home. Please call us when you want to start school again.
Yeah.
And apparently it never happened. It
So-
was like
so
the
when
Mary
did-
Celeste in there, you know, exercise books on desks, pencils on tables, pots of ink dried out on some of the desks. You know, the study was had sort of lists of roll out and open and being checked and so forth. There's a old mouldy cup of tea sat on the side.
And just to check as well, so looking at the map of Derwent Water, we're in the village of Mainstey, and you said there was another village, the remains of another village down the hill. Is that where roughly Mainstey Park is?
That would be right, yes. So what you it was when you were walking down to the Waring House, I forget who noticed it, but it's fairly clear to most of you. As you look down there, once it's pointed out, there's clear signs of the lines and shapes that you get when you, in archaeology, where you see the remains of an old settlement. And in actual fact, when you pay attention to it, look a bit more close. As you pay attention to it, you can actually see what looks like the remains of some buildings down there.
Okay. So we have a bit of a mystery to continue investigating, which is getting very freaky.
Indeed.
What do people think about going down to look at this village of Mainstey Park before it gets too dark?
I'm all in.
Well, boy.
The only thing is, did we all come here by bus, or did someone bring a car? No one's got a car, have they?
You all came by bus. Any person that's got a car is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey has a car. Okay, so we could get back to our hotel by all cramming into Jeffrey's car.
Not easily. It's a two-seater. Sorry, I should have led off with that probably. You were obviously thinking in that direction. Someone could shuttle you around place two at a time, maybe. Leeward Inn's got rooms.
Okay, what's the last bus?
Oh, that's long gone.
Long gone. Okay, yeah.
We got taxis, didn't we?
No, you took the
We don't
bus.
get.
No, I
Oh,
think
we
I
took
think
the bus.
Hillary got
got a taxi.
but a taxi here. But maybe we could get someone a taxi to come out here and pick us up. But let's go before it gets dark.
To be honest, I was possibly overgenerous in how I let you get here. It does actually imply in the scenario that it's rather more difficult. I think the bus service is like a once or twice a day job, and a taxi service would have been Hillary going up to a passerby who's getting into his car and saying,
Yeah. I say, here's a
Excuse
10-year-old boy. Can you take me to this place?
Isn't this the time where those £5 notes are those huge, great
yes.
written document things? Yeah.
A shiny guinea would have been the appropriate
Yes, a guinea.
A shiny guinea.
Yes, a shiny guinea.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's a guinea. Take me to this place.
And just to be clear, the radio's on in the pub, and I've heard this voice in the static
Oh man,
saying,
you think you did? Can you be sure? Can you really be sure?
"Okay, well, I clearly imagined it. I've got an overactive imagination. I'm going to ignore that, and let's go and look at the Mainstey Park, those old ruins before it gets too dark.
There is no such thing as Main Street Park. Like I say, this map is very modern. In the
Oh, okay.
1930s, it was much less manicured than what you're seeing here.
Okay, but
Um,
where roughly that is. So go look at the ruins. Sorry, to be clear. Is everyone coming?
It's merely a few
Aye,
miles
that
walk.
works.
I'm sure we could be quite happily take a ramble down there.
It's one
And
for
if-
London.
I shall clutch
Don't
my
have to walk
handbag
anywhere.
to me and set off.
Okay. Right, you make your way down the path towards. The sun's starting to get quite low. You reckon you got enough time to get down there, have a look around, and get back. When the waters may be picking up a little bit colder as you make your way down through the woods onto the slightly marshy land closer to the village. It's closer to this construction that you can see. Below Mancy fields and woods slope towards the swampy southern end of Derwent Water. Find a gate that goes down to the woods and there's a path. And just off the path, you see what you were looking for. But you can clearly see it now you're there. The remains of foothold high stumps of walls, arranged in the manner of a village. As you start to wander around it and look at, yes, it's looks like there's once a village here.
It's like abandoned houses and such. Or is it an actual village working?
No, it's abandoned.
It's just the remains of a village. It's nothing more than a foot high.
Gotcha.
Can I tell with I've got architecture skill. Can I tell if it's much older build? I mean, there's walls left, a few bits of walls. Are those in design much older than the village of Mainstay?
Yeah, you know your buildings as you take a look around. You look at it, you think that it was built. Yeah, these buildings look like it was built in the early 18th century, which is earlier than the ones in the village of Mainstay itself. But it's apparently from the markings and state of the stones destroyed in early Victorian times.
Okay, so it's been destroyed a long time.
60 odd years.
Oh, yeah, it's 1930s, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
For a minute, I thought it was 1950s. I don't know why. Okay.
What else are people doing?
I'm quite happy just poking around. Just a general peruse if there's any of the larger buildings, as in remains of. Just want to poke around all the tufts of grass and etc. See if anything is there.
Any archaeology?
Yeah, I do have archaeology.
So do I
Okay.
as well.
I think I do as well. Let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Not very much, but I do have it.
1 point.
Jonsey, you're looking at these and you find your eye caught by some of the stones. The walls are only about a foot high or so, and everything's pretty much covered in moss and woods and weeds. You pull away apart, say, and the walls themselves. I mean, it's odd to you that a ruin has been nothing above a foot above the ground practically. You can clearly see where the walls are, and you can see the remains of floors inside it. It's when you poke around and take a look at the stones that were obviously once part of the walls. The stones, you're familiar with the way that structures fall, but this is peculiar. These stones were scattered around the place. It could have been an earthquake, but you wonder as you look at it, you pick up a brick. Well, what looks like 2 bricks, but it turns out to be 2 half bricks. Maybe they belonged together once. They've been weathered a long time. It looks, I don't know. If you look at it closer, you wonder there are an awful lot of the bricks are broken in half or smashed. And does that look like claw marks in the stone?
Okay. I'm going to take up my pipe, sit down on the wall, and actually pack a pipe. And Uh, hello? Hello?
Right.
Anybody? Yep. There may be some larger animals around here. Nothing too much. I don't know how old they are, but there's just a few scratch marks on a few of the rocks. Just keep an eye out.
What, like
Maybe
dogs?
I don't know, a dog or a big cat or something that got out of a stately home. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know how old they are either, but look, here you go. And I'll hand
I'll look
over
at them.
the brick whilst I'll be puffing away now.
Are you sure those are claw marks? They might have just
Sure.
been damage. Just oh,
Quick show of
They're
hands.
too-
Sorry, remind me who's archaeologist here. I'm sure you did just tell me. Andy, yes. You, yes.
a 1 point in it.
I've
Yeah,
got
sure,
2
sure.
points.
That means that you're pretty good at it, and you're very good at it. Basically, don't get me wrong on this one. The three of you, archaeologists. I mean, you three of you concede that you've never seen this sort of destruction outside of a war zone or a very severe earthquake. Like I say, nothing has survived more than a foot above the ground. And yeah, he's right. A lot of the bricks have been ripped in half, and you find other ones with strange-looking damage.
That is quite discomforting.
Isn't it just?
I sit
Very
down
strange.
I sit down next to him and pull out my flask and start taking a drink.
I'll
think-
offer him the tobacco pouch.
whilst everyone's sort of investigating and doing these things where they're picking up things and coming to realizations, Helen has got her little sketchbook that she's flipping through and occasionally just catching the very broad strokes of essentially as people are going through realizations and trying to come to terms with these very strange things, sort of moments of insanity, basically, in art form, just expressions
You're
on their faces and things like that.
drawing Hillary. You're sort of sketching the way he looks. When you notice the way his feet are, they've been kicking away some of the moss and dirt from around the stones. You notice that around his feet there's something curious. There's sort of a large stone still intact with something looks like pattern on it. Catches your eye. The strokes of it. It doesn't look like something random. It does look like a piece of art in itself.
I go over to sort of like and sort of tap his foot out of the way. Look, something here on this rock, and sort of like brush the rest of the
brush
moss
it
off.
away. You brush the moss away from it, and as you look at it, you see it looks like a carving, possibly done quite hurriedly, and it depicts. Let me just get the right wording. A sketch, both across several bricks, sorry, depicting a humanoid figure with worm-like arms and legs, and it's climbing from the soil.
Does it look like that picture that was drawn in the exercise book?
It does have similarities.
Ooh, that's even
This is getting
more
stranger and stranger.
Helen, you
intriguing.
think that you've got more experience looking at pictures and art and things like that. You think, given the differences in the nature of the people who probably did it, one being a child and writing a story, and one being an adult scratching something, you'd think, yeah, that does look quite similar.
These are like that Rose, the picture with the young child had drawn of that strange creature. This seems to be drawn by or carved by, well, I'd assume an adult. It's much better line work, that's for sure. And she takes a piece of paper from a sketchbook and kind of does a little rubbing of a couple of the pieces just to capture what was there.
Can I just check something?
Yes.
Is this some loose bricks, or is this bricks in the floor that Hillary is sort of sat by?
Yes.
So
Second.
Second. Okay. Right. I'm gonna. Sorry. Well. Helen's sketching or doing a rubbing or something. I'm going to try and peel back more dirt, moss, whatever.
So not the floor, the wall.
The
As you
wall.
scratch onto the
Okay.
wall, the lowest part of the wall. Yep. So you're just finishing that sketch. You cleared some space around. You move. Get Hillary to move. Sort of take his bottle away and move it away from him when he follows. You clear away the clearing away. You don't find anything else. Just as you're doing so, a pair of spaniels, come running into the clearing where the remains of the villagers. One of them looks at you, barks enthusiastically, and then runs away. The other one tears around you, running around in circles 3 times around the outside of you before rushing away.
Someone out here walking their dogs?
A minute or so later, a gentleman walks out wearing a light coat, because this is quite clement weather, and on a walking stick, and tips his hat towards you.
Sir? Tip my hats back.
I also tip my hat.
He's a local. He might know some things. Kind of.
Evening.
That was
Pleasant
such an
It's
evening.
adventure
a slightly
game line.
unusual group. Sorry, Dick.
I was just saying that was such an adventure game line from B. He's a local. He may know something.
I'm an NPC.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know much about this village? This
This
village
one
here,
here?
rather than that one up there.
This is Lowmancy. Yes, old ruined village.
Low Manstey.
Back in history, that's what we call it.
It's such a pleasant spot here. I mean, just the sheer view of it. Whatever happened?
It is rather, he said, looking out over Derwent water. Honestly, there was a great disaster. Fire or something. History books are unclear, but yes, they moved the village up the hill a little bit and started again.
Wonder why they didn't decide to rebuild. Don't
Oh,
get
he
me wrong,
shrugs
Man
me.
City itself is actually quite nice, but the views here are simply spectacular.
Well, I'll tell you where they're even better, he says. He points down the way a little bit down there. If you go down there, walk about 10 minutes down this path here, you'll find Lower Manstey. That's the village before.
For this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, so this is
Beautiful
low.
spot.
This is Low Manstey,
Yeah. And
and
Lower
further down
Manstey is just
there
down the
is
path.
Lower Manstey.
That's right.
How many times do
I
they
don't know.
need to move
Curious
it?
seeing the locals here. He says they seem to want to rebuild their village every few years.
Yeah. Are you not a local then, sir?
Well, yes. Well, I've been here for 25 years. But-
So you're a newcomer.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's for my whole life.
Yes, I understand. So, is there somebody that would be a local historian or a bit of a history nut?
Yes, certainly. You want to speak to old Eugene?
Old Judy, Miss Long, could you write that down for me? My memory simply isn't what it used to be.
Oh, GG. I got it.
Okay.
I shall also
Eugene
take
Baxter.
notes. Rose has got almost like a
Well,
detective's notepad and pen.
Eugene
Actually, yeah,
Baxter.
that's
You'll find him in the pub most evenings. So you want to hear?
It was a dark, cold night in Lower Main Street.
maybe we could talk to him. I'm quite eager to go and see this Lower Mainstay. If this is, I wonder if there's anything left.
Oh, very little left of Lower Manstey. Anyway,
Um,
good day.
So,
Good day, sir.
my apologies. Will you be in the pub later?
Well, could be persuaded.
Because I'll stand your drink then. You've been very helpful, but you a big walk around the area?
Oh, yes. Well, moderate. Spaniels. Got to take him out every day.
Yes. I've been told. My mother has Pekingese, but much simpler, I think.
Not proper dog.
No, not a proper dog. No, I agree. Quite not a proper dog. Do you know? Are there any stone circles around here?
Oh, several.
Whereabouts are they?
The nearest one is up on Maiden Moor.
Does Maiden Moor sound familiar to us?
It's on the map, I
I
think.
remember.
It does because it's on the map. It's
Oh, is it?
there are
I
two
had a
moors.
feeling that.
There are two moors
Yeah.
that rise up on either side: Bleabury Moor and Maiden Moor.
I have a
And Pike
feeling that
and
Maiden Moor
Pike
was
as
written
well.
on something. I
Oh.
I don't think I wrote it down, but I have a feeling that Maiden Moor was written on something. I might be wrong,
Which one are you looking for? He
but
says.
that's
Well, if you're interested in stone circles, he reels off the Maiden Moor one. He says that's called Castle Rig Stone Circle. Then there's
Castle Rig.
Saslick Stone Circle up on the other side of Blaebury. That's a bit difficult to get to, but they had one up there. And
So was that? What was that second one? Sorry,
Sathrig,
Sathrig.
yes.
uh,
And that's on what's the moor called?
That's on the other side of Blaebury, which is the mountain on the right hand side of the map. Mountain, hill. It's not a mountain. 500. It's got to be at least 800 meters to be a mountain. Apparently, that's the rules.
Cyrils. Oh wow, that's quite a bit far away. That's not a walking distance from us now.
And is Castle Rig on Maiden Moor, is that walkable from Mainstay?
It's a fair clip. Says Chris now wanting to put the scale onto this thing. A couple of miles.
Might be a place to go for a walk tomorrow, I think.
You want to follow the track around. Well, if you wanted to drive, he says you'd have to drive up to Keswick and back round. That would take you to the base of Maiden Moor, or easier to hike.
I think a hike might be in order.
Oh, you've got no other questions for him. He wanders on his way. His two dogs running around in circles around him.
Chris, a question for you. In the handouts, there's a handout 0 is called front piece. Is that?
Right.
I think you said that was a view of Keswick.
Yeah.
But is that a stone circle up in the background, or is that a ring of trees or something like that?
It's, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what all that is. This should
Okay.
not be taken literally.
Okay, that's fine.
Good question, though.
It could be Maiden Moor though, from the.
Mm.
If you look at the map, it could well be the perspective. If Maiden Moor's the top. Could we take a quick walk around to see if we can find this lower mainstay?
Have we got enough?
I know he said that there was nothing there.
Have we got any light? Enough light before it's dark?
Just about. You ain't got much time to do much else, though.
Yeah, let's try it then.
It's only a 10-minute walk up the road, and yet, indeed, you do find the similar signs that you saw for the previous village that marked in the road, indicating where there perhaps was once a street or something like that. But this one, even lower. There's practically nothing left of this one.
One thing he said that he said he thought the other one had been destroyed by fire, but you described nothing looking like the damage caused by fire. No charred stone.
Nothing that. Yeah.
No, I didn't think so. Okay.
I suppose we're staying in Mainstay tonight then.
I think we are.
Oh, well, in that case, I think we should retire to the watering
So,
hole.
just before it gets dark, sorry to interrupt you, Tom. Is there, before you get to us after work, is there anyone I think wants to do in lower Mainstay?
A general sort of like a look around for similar signs of any markings on bricks, if there is any stones, anything remaining.
Answering the two main points from the previous village. Firstly, this one looks older. about 100 years older. Secondly, same signs of damage. Total damage, bricks scattered around the place, many actual... The stones are larger, and many of them literally look like they've been torn in half. Sorry, Tom, do you wish to...
I was just saying if we should retire to the watering hole and see if that historian chap is there. I'm
Old-
getting this a
old
bit
Eugene.
parched. Yes.
I imagine that you probably want to check on your brother. I say towards what's his name?
Michael.
Michael. Michael. He didn't look
Yes, Michael.
well.
Michael has been quiet and somewhat preoccupied throughout all of this.
Is he with us?
Yeah.
I had assumed so, but...
Yeah.
Yes, I think he would have come down, but I don't think his mind was fully on the problem. Yes, you're right, of course. Yeah, we should return. Presumably Jeffrey didn't come with us. He's not feeling very well.
Let's return.
He's got a room in the inn there, hasn't he? Anyway, Chris, has he got a room? Jeffrey?
Jeffrey has, yes.
Yeah. So
Well,
might have.
I think we should go and book some rooms. Are there enough for one each, or do we need to share?
Okay, you get back to the Leewood Inn, and speak to Ada. She says that 2 of you will have to share. I've got a twin.
I don't mind sharing with you, Rosa. If
Yes, that sounds perfect.
That's appropriate. Good. Looks suspiciously at the men in the group, and then tells you the price, which is not quite cheap.
Is it cheap enough for me?
Not really.
That's okay. I'll pay for you.
Oh, dear sir, you are a scholar and a gentleman, as well as a stout drinker. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, about those drinks.
Yeah, indeed.
The let's see, rooms when you check them out are bracingly austere, with let's see, sparkling wooden with a puritanically narrow single bed and an ancient oil lamp. The twin has 2 puritanically narrow single beds, a small dresser, and that's an oil lamp, and that's about it. But minimal amount of bedclothes provided for warmth.
does
rooms?
does the dresser have a mirror on it?
Yes.
I take a pillowcase or something and put it over the mirror.
Okay.
I just sort of like I come into the room and I look at the mirror and I'm looking and I'm like, and then I just drape something over it just for my own peace of mind.
I should come in afterwards, see a mirror with a pillowcase on it, and then nod in agreement and leave it well alone.
It is the strangest. I don't really want to call it holiday, but certainly trip that I've ever taken. It's only getting stranger. Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely.
It's quite exciting, though.
It is exciting, isn't it? Part of me is thrilled by it, but it's also becoming more and more. I don't know, something about it. 2 villages, 2 whole villages. Why would you make a third even? If we need to speak to this old Eugene, should we go downstairs and see if chaps are down there?
Certainly, I think that's a good idea. We also could do with some food.
Okay.
Yes.
Both are
Go
supplied
downstairs.
in reasonable order. The beer is good and cheap. The wine is not so good and not so cheap. And the food is solid and dependable. The radio is switched off when it starts to get a bit busier in the village, and you get sort of corner to yourself as the locals kind of tend to edge away from strangers a bit in that
Maybe we should
manner of
ask.
these things.
Is it a fairly mixed crowd, as in men and women, or is it mostly men?
Mostly men.
But there are some other women drinking in here.
Yes, some.
Okay. Can I just ask one question? I've got a skill called oral history. Is
Yeah.
that knowing about oral histories, or is that about sort of? Can I use that to try and find out oral histories from people, or can it do both?
Both.
Both. Okay. So I'm going to spend some time chatting to some of the women in the pub,
Okay.
trying to find out oral histories of the area.
Can I help with that? I also have that skill.
So as a
Like-
and leave the other three of you to try and chat to old Eugene.
Let's see. Okay. Jeffrey retires to bed early.
He does look a
complaining
little
that he's not
geeky.
feeling very well.
Well, possibly on medical advice as well.
Okay. What are the others doing? Just let me know. I'll know we'll go through them off the order.
We'll be seeing if Eugene's there. But also, do you know what? I think I'm going to see if I can tout for some business. See if anybody wants any hands for anything.
Okay.
Just because it's a good way of getting in with people.
All right.
And of course, I'm
Yeah,
always
you
doing
find
bits
several
of-
people. This time of year, they're generally looking for hands, so you could easily find some. You're used to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Presenting yourself in a slightly different way from how you usually do, since you're actually in the pub with a beer and things like that. But
Yeah.
your nature easily rises to it, and you find yourself, yes, inundated with offers to take you on as a farmhand.
Excellent. Just for some seasonal work,
Okay.
move around, that sort of thing, see the world, etc., etc. Just so I can try and get some stories from the locals.
Okay. You find a guy called Eugene.
Oh, do you find Eugene? Okay.
You do, yes. You find Eugene. Oh, blast it. So I've just managed to click the wrong button and they don't do it. So you find Eugene, yes. Okay, to observer, and there you go. There's Eugene. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
And he's happy to talk to you as long as you're supplying beers.
I
Right.
will look to my wealthy friend. Say, sir, I've just met Eugene here. He's a wealth of stories. As long as he's suitably lubricated. And I'll hold up an empty glass as well.
Right. Michael, you run into Dr. Rochdale, who's sitting on his own drinking quite heavily.
Well, not particularly unusual for the medical profession, especially at this time.
Yeah.
But
he flags you. He sort of his eyes light up when he sees you, and he comes over to talk to you.
I'll invite him over.
Okay.
Offer to buy him a drink.
How's your brother?
He's definitely not feeling very well, and not looking very well. He's
Well,
retired to his room. I'll check in on him later before I go to bed.
honestly, you could do worse than sending him to the hospital in Keswick, in my opinion. I phoned up.
You think you are? I think you're probably right.
I phoned up my colleague in Keswick Hospital, and well, he didn't really believe me. He thinks I've lost my mind. But then he got back to me, and apparently, he found a similar case
Locally?
in Keswick. It's recorded as being reported in what was then the hospice in Keswick. Yes, it was in Victorian times. Betty Waring, apparently.
Hang on, Waring sounds familiar.
That's
Yeah.
our parents.
Waring's our
parents'
parents,
surname.
our lineage.
There we go. I couldn't remember that. I've had a couple of asleep since the last time we played.
Well,
Would you be interested in following this up yourself, or I think I might plan a journey tomorrow?
What are you planning?
Well, I think we should go over there and maybe have a look at the whatever records might still be there.
Okay. He has got to work tomorrow, but he could possibly make time. I'll see if I can find a locum.
If you wouldn't mind giving him a call in the morning, if he would be available, and find out when he would be available, or
Very well.
if he maybe even courier over any details. I don't know what would be easiest.
That sounds fun. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Right. Rosa, you are talking to
With
picking up the
Helen.
ladies.
Just basically trying to use the
So
what's
you
it
and
called?
you and Helen, or just you?
No, and Helen.
Okay, the two of
Yeah.
you are right.
Essentially, can I spend a point of oral history?
Yes, you can. That's fine. Most of you, the women you are talking to, in actual fact, you find are with husbands and not keen on talking. However, oh plus, hold on. There's a sorry, GM error. Had the right
No worries.
thing right in front of me a second ago. And you'll have to edit this bit out.
No, it's what really happens in games.
Round uncut.
Actually has a specific section where you end up talking to Ada. You had to put up with her whole life story.
Is
before you
Ada
can
the
escape.
barmaid?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I specifically saw this. Where is it? Hold on. Leewood Inn. Things.
I don't mind talking to Ada.
Ah,
I
here we
think we
go.
should.
All
Make
history. Right.
friends.
So you get you start talking about sort of local history from with various related. A lot of them are not with their husbands, and some of them are keen enough to talk to you, but they're not local history that you're hearing about. Not interesting. Is not what you're looking for. They're talking about things like a lot of people talking about people who went away and during the war, and the more recent events that have taken place and stuff like that. So when you actually end up getting yourself some more white wines, don't know whatever you're drinking, you end up talking to Ada. When you realise that you have to get information from her by listening to her stories, you endure her autobiography, and then more intricately she turns to local legends. She intones that worm-like creatures, apparently, according to local legend, lurk between the earth, and sometimes one of the farmers will find a grey, slithery hand in their fields. True. Apparently, that's what you hear.
So
Jeff?
a grey-like hand.
Worm-like hands, yes. Sort of slithery hand, that's what they said. Well, Arthur Stanton was in here a few years ago, and he said it was a strange thing. He poked at it, and it disappeared into the soil, he said. Mind you, he had been drinking. I've heard that sort of thing a few times.
Who was the most recent one?
Yeah, him.
What was his name again?
Arthur Stanton.
Is he here tonight?
No.
I'm fascinated
He's
by it.
barely comes down here at all now. He got married with the kids.
So presumably, if he's a farmer, his farm is outside of Mainstay.
That's right.
Okay. Can you give me directions to it?
She duly gives you directions up the hill and across the way, yes.
Are we planning to? I say this to Rosa. Are we planning to do a full investigation? Are we going to go speak to this farmer? I don't know whether we should just go straight to this Maiden Moor place and
Oh, we're
check
going
out.
there first.
Yes.
Guys, you are speaking to you get Eugene talking to Eugene. Eugene is upset.
So
He's annoyed
this is
yes, I'm
Hillary
switching.
and Jones, isn't
Jonsey.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hillary buying all the drinks, and
I'm switching context here. Yes.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, he's happy to talk to you. He's a little bit upset because one of his pigs has been stolen.
Stolen?
Well, that was in the sty this morning. It's not when I went to check on him just earlier.
Oh dear. And there's no damage to any of the fences, so he hasn't got out.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, stolen. I wouldn't know where to start, I'm afraid, around here. Do you think there's anybody in particular?
He shrugs. Well, not wanting to start or say anything, but where were you two? Strangers in town?
Oh, I met
He
a
laughs.
very nice gentleman walking as a dog down in Low Main Street. I was sitting on the
yes?
wall, having a pipe. In fact, he's the gentleman who not pointed you out, but said that you're a bit of a history buff.
Well, I know some of the local bits and pieces, local legends.
Excellent. Things go bump in the night, ghosts and ghoulies. That's the kind of thing to warm the cockles of your heart when you're sitting around a fire with a beverage in hand, holding up an empty glass.
I fill the empty glass.
And
And then fill my own empty glass.
Yep.
Yeah, he happily accepts another glass and starts pressing on with various snippets of local legend, stuff about Derwent Water, what happens. Not much of it starts to be relevant until you keep pressing him, and he rambles a bit as he goes on. But after a while, he comes around to one useful snippet. His grandfather, he says, after Lowmancy was destroyed, there was no harvest. That's very odd.
The harvest
Really
died?
destroyed. It's like someone salted the ground around the whole valley. Now,
What?
Hillary, you're quietly thinking about this. Now he fills you in that apparently it happened around 1816, and there's a notoriously cold winter in 1816. You reckon that maybe he's talking rubbish, and in actual fact, the harvest was destroyed by the early onset of winter.
Yeah.
The entire valley just wiped out. The village gone, the crops gone,
No harvest that year.
no harvest.
That's what my grandfather told me, and he heard it from his grandfather. Actually, 1816. Yeah, about right.
Yeah. So what happened to the village then?
Well, yeah, it was destroyed.
How? What, fire? Floods? The pox?
Honestly, no one talks about it.
That must annoy you as a local historian.
I wouldn't say
somebody-
historian, gossip, perhaps. But yeah. It did.
Gossip historian, same thing.
If my grandfather knew, he took that knowledge to the grave.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's most perturbing.
And it is odd because, as you may be aware, there's another village called Lower Manstey. That's well, if you go down to Low Manstey, and he describes how you get to it, and that was destroyed. Some years before.
Ah.
I couldn't tell you exactly when that one was, but check the parish records. Oh no.
Parish records. Excellent. And where would they be kept?
In the
parish
church.
council?
The parish.
In the church. Yes, of course. Yes. Sorry, I might have had one drink too little, holding up an empty
Yeah, I think
glass.
that's the case.
I
Yeah.
pour more in the end.
Yeah.
Yes. I do believe you're right, old boy.
Yes.
Okay. Right, so the evening passes. Pleasantly enough for some people, possibly slightly oddly. Is there anything specific anyone else wants to do?
can I ask Ada something? Can I? I say, how long have you been the landlady here?
14 years.
Okay. And you're from Mainstay?
Born and bred, she says.
Do you know? We're looking a little bit into the Waring family.
I
The
know, I
name.
know. Do you meet, remember she told you where Mary
Yes,
was, so...
yes. We met with Mary and her daughters. Lovely, lovely little family. Um, we're doing a little bit of research, I suppose, uh, about the Waring family. A lot of things keep popping up um, around photos and artwork and such. But do you know if there's any other relatives, anyone that's perhaps doesn't have the Waring last name, but uh, would have been related by blood specifically, I suppose, to the Warings in and around Mainstay now?
Not that she knows of, no. She knows there has been a bit of a
Creepy music is starting.
diaspora. Many brothers over history have gone elsewhere in the country. But she says they always come back to visit.
Yes.
Um,
Um,
sorry, go ahead, Helen.
I was just wondering, like, were they known for anything? I mean, obviously the family is quite intertwined with Mainstay and the history
Very,
of it.
very, very important members of the community. That's why it was such a blow when Jack disappeared.
Well, as a school
Yeah.
teacher,
Most
I mean,
strange.
it's an important role.
Yes.
I think I was just digging for any information for any other Warings, but if she
Well,
doesn't have any, that's
I'm
fine.
going to say, do you know what Mary's mother was called? Was she Betty Waring?
No, because Mary's maiden name wasn't Waring.
Ah,
Yeah,
of
she
course,
married
of
in.
course.
It would have been Jack's family line.
Was
with-
Jack's mother then Betty Waring?
Might have been grandmother if it's back in the Victorian age.
A second.
Well, it
Just
could be.
furiously looking up a family line.
Just making Chris do all the work.
I mean, you've creeped me out just by putting some music on. I mean, it's.
I thought it was. So I'd said something significant. Suddenly there was like creepy music.
It did hit at like the perfect moment for that. That's what
Right.
She's
I
not
think
sure
was-
about that. She thinks so, yeah. Seems to remember.
That Betty is his
Right.
mother.
Before my time, but I think you're right, yes.
Perhaps we should do a little bit of research about Betty then.
Well, if we go to the parish records,
or rather, Michael can.
if we look at the parish records, there should be. You should be able to trace some family tree information there.
Yeah.
What's the name of the vicar? Did we meet him?
Yeah, you did meet him, yes, and I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, he's not on
I might have I got a GM notes journal? I might have done something useful, like write that in. No.
Yeah. Also, Mary's Jack's current wife. She's not the original. Not the
That's
one
right.
who.
Victoria was the
That was it.
his
Our
wife,
mother.
who, if your suppositions are correct, would be your mother. Mary's his second wife, who would be mother of the twins.
I don't think we actually met the vicar.
You definitely did, because you went to the church. It was the first thing you when you got to the village.
Right, yeah. Right at the start.
Okay. I don't have a vicar's name written down. Okay. We should probably just call him vicar. Unless there's anything particular, I think that Rose is going to crash the night to be up at bright and
Vicar
early.
Samuel.
Sorry.
Vicar Samuel.
Well, isn't I've got Dr. Samuel's written down. Isn't that the name of the
No,
physician?
no, Dr. Adams.
I've got Dr. Samuel's written down. I thought that was that's the
Mixed them
vicar.
up.
Okay. Oh, I'm mixing up my
No.
names. Right. Okay. That's anything specific this week. I'll call scene there. I think. Unless there's anything specific anyone wants to ask anybody, I'll do. Right.
Can't think of anything.
Okay. Sleep then. Is it even worth mentioning dreams? You dream. You
Dream
fall asleep
nightmares?
into dream strangely. You have a fitful night's sleep, to say the least. But you don't have an entirely restful night's sleep. Actually, because this particular piece of music is very at the start. Now, Hillary,
Yes.
perhaps you first. You're sleeping, and you're sleeping.
The deep sleep
Yes.
of the drunk.
Deep sleep of the drunk. However, you're awakened from your sleep. You consciousness intrudes in a most unwelcome fashion. You can hear music, a strange drifting tune, like notes in the radio static. It's penetrating into your mind unnaturally. You can you can't ignore it. You sort of shove your head underneath the pillow and clamp it over your head, but you can still hear it. Not as loud.
What is that blasted racket? I get up to start trying to search for the source of it. I know it's penetrating in my head, but like, my rational brain is still trying to say, there must be a source.
I'll do a quick investigation. It's coming from outside.
Fun. I go outside, I guess.
Okay.
Is this how I die again in the Cthulhu campaign?
Pick somebody else.
Pick Andy.
Andy, Rosa.
Rosa.
You're also woken up by something similar.
Yep.
Is this... What on earth just happened to the music? Sorry, I meant to turn it on and then turn it around. It turned off. Is that it?
I could hear some weird.
Now.
Yeah, okay. That's better. Right, sorry about that. That distraction. And so you run into Hillary as you hear footsteps outside, and Hillary is trying to walk past the door.
Well,
He's wearing a sort of nightshirt and a slightly annoyed expression on his face.
Well, I would have been sleeping in a petticoat, so I've probably quickly pulled my dress on over the top because I'm not going out indecently dressed.
Of course not.
Was Helen fast asleep?
Helen was still asleep, yes.
Okay, wait. I will have my handbag with me though. I carry it everywhere.
Okay.
I love that.
And sorry, there's a noise out on the street.
Does seem to be, yes.
Can I find a window to look out?
Yes, your bedroom's got a window. It's probably open unless you're keeping it closed.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I'd gone out into the corridor and met Hillary.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. You have detected the fact that it's outside.
Should we have a look, Hillary?
I dare say I believe we should.
I shall go and try and find a window on the ground floor of the pub that has a look sort of by the front door that looks out.
It's coming from down the hill. It's odd because it's not very loud, and you can't see anything playing the music down in that direction.
It's music. Is it the music
Yes.
we can hear?
Yes. Except it's buried in static. Mind you, that also can be arranged.
So is the radio on?
No.
Should we go? Should we go down the hill and have a look, Hillary, or shall we stay?
Let's go take a look. It might shed some light on the mystery we are attempting to resolve.
Okay.
Famous last words, I know, but here we are.
You go out into the cool of the night. You're walking down the hill. At about this point, they're walking down the hill. The other three of you have also been awoken by this same strange, incessant noise. The odd thing about it is, Hillary and Rosa, is as you walk down the hill, it doesn't seem to get any louder or closer. It just seems to be in that direction.
Okay.
The other three of you are awake at this point, but you're back in the hotel. What are you doing? Helen, you see
Check to
that
see if-
Rose is gone.
I'm sort of immediately in a panic, and I'm looking around. I check the mirror. Is it still covered?
It's still covered.
Yep. I also just did a slip, so I, in a rush, just put my boots on and my coat to do everything up and rush out, and probably see maybe Jonesy and Michael if they're out
Okay.
and up. And
Okay, so
I'm
you're heading out
calling
in that
for
direction as well.
Rosa. I'm
Rosa
like,
and Hillary.
Rosa?
You're about halfway down the hill when you hear the others calling, and someone says, "Stand up!" from one of the windows. The sounds that you're hearing are otherwise the night is completely silent, with a slight sliver of moon overhead, a little bit of light. The sound seems to be coming from the old schoolhouse.
Right. I think we should wait for I gotta wait for the others to catch up.
Okay.
Yes, I do believe that would be the most sane option here.
Did
Okay.
anyone else hear that music?
Yes, that's why we've come here.
I'm saying.
It's coming from the schoolhouse.
It's so strange. And there's no like radios. Wake up, Jonesy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm gonna pinch myself.
No, you seem to be awake.
I've got a little candle lantern with me.
Okay, you've got the only source of light between you then.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You make your way down towards the school. And you find the school gate. The old school grounds, as you know, are completely overgrown. But you can see in front of the school, just inside the school gate, two small figures. They're dancing. And they're dancing in that strange dance that you dreamed about a couple of nights ago. When you dreamed about, you each had you had a dream about a thing in a stone circle, about burying a man in the ground alive, about some of you were doing it, some of you were watching it, and one of you was helping it. And you see the dance, these two figures dancing around a dark shape.
Are they Mary's daughters?
Intense focus and skill. Their arms are outstretched and they leap and whirl in a bizarre and very precise pattern. Yes, it's Lisa and Bethany. As you get a little bit closer, you see that there's a radio, and that's the source of the music.
I mean, we've walked quite a distance from the pub, haven't we?
You have walked quite a distance from the pub. And it's funny, like I say, the music almost like it was calling to you.
But
I'll definitely go over and
Suddenly-
turn the radio off.
Where's the
Helen's
Okay.
just watching the
power
girls.
coming from?
And are probably about ready to discipline the girls for staying out at night.
Okay, as you the five of you are sort of watching this slightly odd sight. The while this is playing static, in the static you can hear the drifting music that woke them. You walk over. As you walk over to switch off the radio, you see that the thing that they're dancing around is a pig. Its throat, shoulders, and calves have been cut.
Dear God. What are you two doing?
They ignore you as they dance around. The music is still going at this point.
I will storm over to the radio now with indignant anger and turn the radio off.
Okay, you turn the radio off. Let me just do that. As soon as the radio goes off, they both snap out of it and stop dancing and look around in a slight daze.
is their house near the school?
It's not far away. If you remember, it was about halfway.
Yeah. So we walked past their house.
Yes, you have.
Okay.
They both burst into tears.
I was about to say I was ready to
Right.
lay into them, but the
Yeah,
fact that they
you
were
see-
sort of almost like in a sleepwalk state has kind of.
They both burst into tears.
You've still got the static
I-
going. Is that
No, that's not
Intentional.
deliberate.
I think
Hmm.
Helen goes up. She's watched.
I was going to start music
Sort of
again.
a
Just,
Yeah, no worries. Helen was a little bit entranced by the whole thing, and then as soon as the radio stops, and the girls start crying, I think she goes over and just sort of gets somewhat down on their level. And I'm looking at their expressions, and I'm like, "Are you girls okay?"
Why is it dead? Why is the pig dead?
Do they
They
have
both
blood on
call
them?
out. What? They
Do
have.
they have blood on them, like they killed the
Yes,
pig?
they do.
Oh my
There's a bread
God.
knife lying beside the pig.
They're like
Why
two
is it
very
dead?
naughty puppies standing by a big steaming.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness!
Killing a pig with a bread knife. Jesus, that takes a lot of force.
Yeah, that's.
I'm wondering about that as well.
No,
let's-
no, no,
this
go
is-
with
this
it,
is the
mate.
conceit of
It's
this is the
terrifying.
conceit of the scenario.
The
I take
occult
their
gives you
hands and
unholy strength.
I want to turn them away from the sight of the pig. So
No,
I'm just
no,
taking
it
their
should have
hands.
come back to
It's just-
life. Why didn't it come back to life like it does in the dreams? Why didn't it sink into the ground? They say take it in turn to say these things. It should sink into the ground and be alive.
What are you saying? Did you hurt the pig? Did you do this? Sort of
Yes,
like,
yes, to
why?
bring it to its new life. They're a
Do
bit
you-
hysterical. I'm talking very clearly here.
Yeah. Okay, let's calm down. Let's calm down, shall we? Why don't we? Why don't we head back to your home, and we'll get this cleared up, and we can have a talk about these dreams. She's trying to redirect them to more calm emotions.
Are those showing signs of calming down at all?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Okay.
I do feel that
I-
the liberal application of very cold water would solve two problems with one.
I kind of look up towards the rest of my
Before you
newfound
before you
siblings.
before you take them, so I say we can't take them back home with their clothes like that.
Where else are we going to take them, Michael? Why
We
did you
could-
do it here? Like she says, nudging her head towards the schoolhouse. Is this important?
Shrugs and says it seemed like a good place.
Sorry, who said?
Lisa.
Bethany or Lisa. Lisa.
What are their names?
I
Lisa and Bethany.
So Bethany says Lisa said it'd be a good idea.
No, they thought it would be a good idea.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, flapping at my screen, that window's open. I've got the bug. All right.
I think that I don't think we can avoid the fact that they need to get home and be cleaned up.
Were there washrooms in the school? Can you not clean them up here?
That's a
Yeah,
good
but it won't
idea.
have running water.
Yes, but it doesn't have running water.
Plus, also, how are we going to clean their
Night.
night dresses? We take
It's not
them
necessarily a rational demand. It's just
home. We take
clinging
them
on
home.
to something, right?
Rational, yeah.
In that case, I'll get out a little bottle of water and a handkerchief and just wipe their faces, wipe their hands. There we go.
Yes,
Right.
probably good enough. It's not
Yeah.
surgically clean, but there we go.
No. Let's take them home. Let's give them back to the parents. And let's get back to the bar and have a stiff drink for witnessing what we just witnessed.
Get your mind out of the beer bottle, Jonesy. I think this is beyond going back and having a drink and chatting about it. This is something quite serious. Maybe we.
Can I have a look at the site in case there's anything that we've missed beyond dead pig?
No, dead pig, knife, which for argument's sake is not a bread knife, it's something more suitable, which would still be very hard work for a 6-year-old, but never mind. And wireless.
Where's the wireless plugged into?
It's. Do they have battery-powered wirelesses at this point?
I have no idea.
Supernaturally powered.
Well,
what year is it? What
you
year
pick
is
it?
it?
1935.
Yeah, so they did, but they were typically military.
Or
Well, Andy,
like the
no
province of
problem.
the very well.
No problem at all. Andy, you pick it up. The battery compartment is empty, and there's no cable.
Yeah.
The cable isn't plugged.
Yeah,
the cable
okay.
isn't plugged into
I'm
that.
just going to
Yeah.
lose a point of sanity at that. I'm sorry, I just need to do
Yeah,
that.
I think I'm also going to take a point
Yeah.
of sanity off for this whole
Sorry,
thing.
no, it's stability, isn't it? Not sanity.
Yeah. I'm down to 5.
Rest. No, I do have a sanity as well.
We should be
yeah.
taking
I
stability,
did
not
not
sanity.
mean to
Correct,
roll.
Chris?
Ability, yes.
Stability.
So how do we take this type of sanity check? Remind me, I'd forgotten we were having to volunteer for this.
It's a 4-point loss for this whole thing, by the way, not a 1 point.
Oh.
Oh
To
my
sanity or stability?
Stability.
Right.
So-
Okay.
Right. And do
Do
you
we
need
have
to
to roll?
roll?
If you roll, if you get a 4 or more, then you don't take the loss. But you can spend points if you want to. So if you spend 3 points, then actually you won't take a loss anyway.
Okay. I'm going to put that point back on then.
I'm going to take a stability check. I get a 2, so I lose 4 points.
All right.
Okay.
So
Oh, is that how that works? Okay.
Right.
So I rolled a 4, so I don't lose it.
No, you don't lose it, no.
Okay.
You may
Because
optionally
it was
take
like-
1 point if you think it's appropriate.
I think it's appropriate. I mean, I'm a medical doctor, so dead pigs probably aren't going to freak me out, and blood's not going to freak me out in the same way, but it's still flipping weird.
I'm going to spend 2. Oh no, I didn't mean. Sorry, I've rolled when I didn't mean to. I've rolled a 6.
The dice are being thrown everywhere.
Right.
Lots of dice flying across the table.
Yeah,
here.
but I meant
No,
to,
no.
I pressed the wrong thing. I was going to say I'm going to spend two points and then roll a check, and I failed. Therefore, I lose a further 2 points. Or
No, 6 points total.
so I actually have. I'm down. I've absolutely fucked myself. Then I'm down to stability of 0.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That means that you're starting to lose it a bit, to say the least.
A bit.
Now.
No, hold on. Bear in mind, folks, that you can go down to -12 in this.
I mean, that's
I
fair.
saw that.
It's different steps of losing it are 0,
Yeah.
-6, and -12.
Why did you spend dice? Why did you
First
spend
thing,
points,
Andy, is that
Does
you lose a point,
do
a
something?
point of sanity.
So just to answer Bruce's question, I was spending 2 points to then add to my roll to try and make sure that I only lost 2, not the full 4
Yes.
because I needed to get a 4 or more.
Yes.
So by
And you then-
putting 2 points in, I needed to not roll a 1, and then I rolled
Yes.
a 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So I now lose a point of sanity as well.
I believe that is correct. I'm not going to dive into the rules too much
Okay.
at the moment. That's the main consequence. And also, I believe that you can't spend on investigative skills now
Okay.
until you recover. Plus, you're somewhat shaken, to say the least.
I'm just holding on here. There's no battery. There's no battery. How was the radio working? How was the radio working?
I need the rule book, sorry.
I'm assuming that rolling a high number like 6 means that I'm fine.
Yes, it does.
Is that worse?
As I said,
Okay.
option if you feel it's thematically appropriate, you may opt to take a point anyway. This will drive yourself crazy
I took
after
a
all.
point of I took a point of stability anyway. I feel like
Honestly, we're being very
probably
rules light here, so I'm not going to make too much of a.
who's going crazy right now? Is it just Rosa?
Just Rosa seems to be having a bit of difficulty at the moment.
Yeah.
I've got the girls. I think I look up to Jonsey, Hillary, or Michael, and sort of like indicate with my eyes towards Rosa, in a let's get this situation under control
Yeah.
and get the children home. And so somebody helps Rosa. I've got the children.
I'll help
hand in each.
Rosa. I think I feel more comfortable with a patient than I do with children.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got the children in hand, one in each, and start leading them back towards their home. Not bothering about picking up anything else at the moment. We can come back and deal with the pig later.
I'm going to show the back of the radio to Michael. It's got no battery. How is it making music? It's got no battery.
I don't know. It might be picking
Not
something
connected
up
to
being
anything.
transmitted from somewhere else. Something powerful enough to trigger the speakers, maybe.
Doesn't it need
Some sort of
electricity
interference
to work?
Well, magnets can pick up electricity. That's how.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
I was about to say radar works, but it's too early for radar. Yeah. That's how motors work. There we go. That'll do.
You said we can't use. What was the skills we can't use, Chris?
Investigative skills you can't spend on them.
Okay, so I can't spend my assess honesty bit point
No.
to assess whether Michael's lying to me.
Well, he's not
Michael's lying to
technically
himself.
lying. He is just half remembering some sort of schooling that he might have had at some point, and then regurgitating it to make himself feel better. It's not a lie.
Okay, for interest's sake, Rosa's put the radio down, is now holding her handbag with her left hand, and her right hand is inside her handbag, and it looks like she's gripping something inside the handbag.
Jesus, it's a gun. It's an explosive. I'd start leading people back to the house because we've been there earlier.
What do you do with the girls?
I've got one in each hand, sort of like.
Right.
I'm not letting go of the little girls. I've
Okay.
taken it upon myself to make sure they get home.
Michael, what are you up to?
I'll be making sure that Rosa is okay.
Okay, you're looking at Rosa. Okay.
I'll be looking for any signs, of.
Have you got any
sweating.
reassurance?
I'm sure I have. I must have a bucket load. Reassurance 2.
If you spend a reassurance point, you can recover Rosa 3 points of. I think it's reassurance. You can recover her 3 points of stability and sort of get her back onto.
I'll definitely do that. How do we recover these points?
You don't. Not in the course of the adventure, anyway.
And how do I take one off?
You put one in put a plus, click the plus thing.
Hold on. Right, so let me just find your character sheet. You say what you do. Yes, you spend it by finding the relevant skill, pressing the plus to indicate that that's the number of points you're spending, and then press the
spend. Yeah, okay.
or you can just click the skill itself and then tell you how many points you're spending.
Yep.
So I regained 3 points of stability.
Now, for any rules enthusiasts who see this, I'm pretty certain I'm getting that wrong, because I think this might be a different skill from reassurance, but I will, between sessions, I'm going to slow things down now. Between sessions, I will add and subtract the appropriate skills. I think it might actually be a general skill you're supposed to use for that. But yeah, okay. But you're suffice to say, you're in a position where you can, you do recover.
Okay.
There's a few points of
Specifically, it's 3 points.
3, yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. I don't know what came over me.
Right.
That's all right. That's all right. Very disturbing situation.
I will stop gripping something in my handbag and come out and sort of flex my hand a little.
Okay. Helen, whilst everyone else, as far as I know, is headed back to the Leeward Inn,
No,
you take the girls.
I'm staying at that site, watching the pig and just staring at the pig at this moment in time. And
Well, that's not freaky.
I've still got the light with me as well.
Okay. The pig sadly does not come back to life or sink into the ground.
No.
Quite disappointed.
Well, I think I know whose pig it is now.
I think you do, yes.
Yeah.
And old Eugene's gonna walk up and find you over his dead pig, and he's gonna know.
I'm gonna
right.
now that I've taken some time to do it, I'm gonna. We don't know where he lives.
Take it back dead. Dump it on his doorstep.
I can't carry a dead pig. Or can I? How strong am I? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I think I'd be fairly strong.
He's gonna get us thrown out of the village.
Why were you staring at the pig?
It must be one of those miniature pigs,
or are you protecting it? Or
right.
I'm trying to work out how such little girls can get a pig to this place without it squealing and then cutting its throat without it going insane and hurting them. I've done some work in a slaughterhouse. Pigs are very intelligent.
And quite resilient.
And bloody strong.
Yes. So, how
you know how you kill a pig if you have to, and it's not by cutting its throat with a knife. And it's not just a throat they cut; they cut the shoulders and ankles as well.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad that Michael can't hear you ruminating about this, and he's far away.
Okay.
Do you know what? Why not? I'll start muttering to myself as well, because I'd lost 4 points of stability, okay. So I'm muttering to myself whilst I'm doing this.
It's not possible. It's just not possible. I don't see how it could.
Exactly.
Is anyone with Helen?
No, Helen's just with the two girls.
Or did Hillary go with her?
No, I think Hillary's returned to the pub for another stiff drink. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Okay. Helen, you knock on the door, and Mary Waring opens up the door. You see the familiar wallpaper behind it once again. Light floods out, and she looks at the girls and goes, "Oh my God, what on earth happened?" Reaches out and grabs them.
Strange situation, and she kind of hands over the girls. They're a little shook up. We found them by the schoolhouse, and then suddenly, I think Helen realizes that anything that she can say about this situation is going to sound absolutely batshit crazy.
I've got a good excuse. It seems like they found a dead pig and were trying to bring it back to life, which is very sweet of them, but was never going to work.
Have you come with me?
Yes. No, I was with Rosa. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
A voice in your head.
If the GM allows, I will use
I'll allow it
because it's very good. Thank you.
Okay.
We heard commotion by the.
Oh my god, girls! You hustles them away and admonishes them. Tells you can't do that. She seems a bit overwhelmed by this fact, and just sort of sends them both to clean themselves up and says, "You say they found a dead pig
outside of the schoolhouse."
2 years ago they did this. They killed a dog. I haven't had a pet in the house since.
you mind if I come in for a quick chat? It's like standing on the doorstep.
Certainly. She
Yeah, yeah,
invites you in, and she
yeah.
puts the kettle on, but then comes out and gets something stronger out of a cupboard. Pours
I
herself one
kind
and
of,
offers you one. It's some
yeah,
sort
yeah. I
of
just take it.
it's
Medicinal brandy.
some sort of
Yeah,
medicinal brandy thing,
mother's medicine.
herbal and local.
She
I'm,
takes the
I'm,
drink.
I'm surprised you're very brave going into a house with two
Yeah, yeah.
psychotic
I'm
pig killing,
I'm keeping my
dog
eyes on
killing.
the door. I'm also very much thinking about the moment when I came out of the bathroom and one of them told me that Dad talks to her through the mirrors. I'm very unsettled, but I'm also really curious to hear this story about the dog now. So, um, do you mind me asking what happened with the dog? I mean, I didn't see what happened with the pig. I don't know if it was them, but I mean that would take some doing, and they're just little girls. But what did happen with the dog, if you
Well,
don't mind me
I
asking?
was asleep, and I was woken up by them crying, and yes, they killed the dog.
Were they
Cut the poor little thing's
dancing?
throat. It was a terrier called
Did
Bunty.
dance
He sort of looked very
or
sad at remembrance. Yes, they did this some sort of strange dance, and they seemed convinced that it was going to come back to life. That
come
she was
back
going to
to
come back to
life?
life.
Mm, they said
Convinced.
that about.
What's going on?
I don't know, but we the my siblings, I suppose, you could call them, when we came and visited earlier. Michael, one of he's a doctor. I don't know whether perhaps he could have a chat with the girls and see if there's anything medically that could be done. Maybe it's a sleep disorder. I don't know. I can't really.
Well, she says that she'd be, if he's a medical doctor, she'd be happy enough to talk to her.
Could be worth something, but
She's really,
this.
she again, I'm not role playing very well here. I should be
No,
crying,
no, no.
and she's really upset.
I'm imagining that she is very much so. I'm trying to be as comforting as possible.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Um, I have reassurance as well, if that actually helps at all, as a
Yes, you
skill.
can spend a point of reassurance if you want.
I will do that. I'm going to. It's my only point, but I think I send it to see if I can get any more information from her that's a little bit more um, based in sanity rather than hysterical.
You managed to get not much more about the Bunty incident, but you are able to glean that the injuries to the dog were just the same as the ones that seem to have happened to the pig, and that the girls, are quite open about the fact that they've done what they've done. They seriously seem to think, for some reason, that that the animal will come back to life.
Hmm.
It comes
Did
around and she talks about the visit that you had. Oh, sorry.
No, no. I think thinking back to Jack and the schoolhouse, and obviously Mary being married to Jack before he left.
Why did you
She
leave?
says that
You could look
you.
after them better than me.
How so?
Well, I don't seem to be doing a very good job.
I think you're doing just fine considering the circumstances. I don't think many parents deal with what you've had to deal with. But do
I
you
don't
know
hear
if
much about it.
when Jack left, or before Jack left, did he speak about any of the children at his schoolhouse doing anything strange? I know that we went earlier and we found a few strange drawings and stories, so it might not just be your girls that might be affected by whatever it is that's
That almost perks her up a
tripping.
little bit if there's somebody else involved, but no, he never mentioned anything like that.
I
I mean,
really don't think it is just the girls.
this place is, it's a strange place. The
Yes, it
hills are
is.
ancient, and the ancient legends of the place are strong.
Yes, we're starting to learn that. Look, I should probably let you and the girls sleep a little bit, and I'll head back and
Um,
if we can.
your spend. She says before you
Oh,
go, the other lady that was with you was asking me if Jack had a journal or something. I promised I'd have a look.
Yes.
She goes over to a drawer and pulls out a small book. If I could have it back, I'd appreciate it. I found it in the loft amongst his things.
Absolutely. I take it. And I think I offer her a quick, sort of very brief hug as well, sort of like a acknowledging that
Yeah.
you know
Girls,
that
you better be
this
in
is a
bed.
difficult night. Yeah. And then I'll excuse myself with the promise that we might be over in the morning, well, during the day tomorrow, tonight, today, whatever the time of day is, potentially if Michael wishes to see the girls, um, and also to I don't know that to return the journal as well. So I give my thanks and then I leave, and I'll head back to inn.
Okay. Right. Okay, very good. When you get back, I know the others might still be in the bar, they might be in bed. Well, in the bar. Ada's a bit asleep by now, so no, the bar's closed.
Well, wherever we were staying, which I think was the bar,
In
wasn't
the
it?
Leeward Inn, yes.
Yeah.
Upstairs
In
in
the
the
Leeward
Leeward
Inn, yeah.
Inn pub, yeah. The bar's closed, though.
Do I walk past Jonesy with the light? Who's
No,
still
because he's
staring
further
at the
down the
pig?
hill. He's still staring at the
Oh,
pig.
is he?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Tom, is Jonesy still staring at the pig?
You are muted, Tom. Tom, you're muted.
After about 10 minutes, he'll probably mutter to himself and just
I think he's gone then by the time you
Yeah.
come out of
Okay.
Mary's house.
I will just head back to the inn. And then when I get there, is everyone sort of gathered in somewhere, or are we all back in our own rooms again?
Unless anyone is saying otherwise, you're probably back in your own rooms. Like I said, the bar is closed.
Yeah,
Okay.
the bar may be closed, but can we get into the room?
Yeah, you get into your rooms.
No, the room.
No.
Yeah, let's say.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Rosa will sit up until everyone else has come back.
Right.
Let's just make sure that, because Hillary was already there. My guess is that Hillary, even though the bar is closed, has helped himself to something. And then Rosa's come
Leaned
back with
over the bar.
Michael, and then I think I certainly Rosa is waiting for the other two to come back.
Okay. After 15 minutes, everyone's reassembled. You've gathered everyone at the bar.
I sort of
In the
come
bar
in.
room.
It's the last one, yeah, and I see them in the bar room, and I come in and I kind of do a quick scan around, make sure there's nobody else, and then I sit at the table that they're all sat at, and I put the journal on the table, and I say, Mary mentioned that the girls had tried this. Was it 2 years ago? Did you say, Chris?
Yes.
2 years ago with a family dog. She was quite upset about the whole thing. It seems that this isn't the first time this has happened. She slides the journal across to Rosa. She also said that you asked if Jack had had a journal, and she found this. But we're to return it to her. I think it might hold some
It's not so much a
answers potentially.
journal. This particular thing is a notebook. It's too small, but
Oh, is it?
yeah,
And
it's all she found.
his notes.
Well, I shall start looking at that and having a bit of a read.
Okay, presumably got library use. I'll do. Okay, quick skim through it. Starts out as perfectly normal notes for a school teacher. Just notes on what to be done, lesson plans, things like that. Then about halfway through, it's about 2/3 full, and about halfway through the bit that's full, it starts containing familiar sounding questions and queries about what is going on. How come I can? What am I hearing? You see some curious looking diagrams that you can't quite make out the point that what they're trying to do from these. They're partial. You see some pictures You see a picture of the dagger from your dreams. You see a picture of some sort of circuit diagram that's really complicated. But it's quite small. You see some frank ravings about they're underground. They're underground, and they're it's me, and some references. He writes some notes, and in the notes he's writing in the raving. He is instructing some things to be delivered, some equipment to be delivered. It's equipment, lab equipment. Has anyone got any relevant scientific skills?
I have
Unlike
what
it, let me have a look.
skills.
I
I
would have
might
thought.
have biology, yeah. Medicine,
Medicine,
physics.
biology. Yeah.
Hillary, you recognise the some of the terminologies for quite expensive and quite advanced pieces of scientific physics equipment that they use in physics to be delivered to an address, and there's the address that he wants it delivered to. This is sort of partly in a note that's stuffed into it, like a invoice or receipt or something. The address is Maiden House, which you haven't heard of before. Quick check of the postcode. I think we had postcodes at this time. Indicates that it's a house up on Maiden Moor.
I knew Maiden Moor was important. It feels like the place, doesn't it?
Yep.
So,
I want to just talk with you guys about the dream. We all had that dream, right? When we first got here. Do you remember what
It's
happened
perhaps
to...
quite difficult to piece it together at times because you didn't have the same dream, but you, after talking about it for a while, if you talk about it for a while, yeah,
I'm trying to
you
gather
determine
the
that
idea.
yeah.
all bar Michael, you all saw the same scene from the same point of view. In actual fact, Michael saw the same scene but from a distant point of view. Certainly, you saw each other in it.
I think
And
I'm going to
Michael with a
start
shovel.
writing down now the accounts from the dream and who was what and where. If we go to Maiden Moor, do you think that we should... Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But I don't know if we... Yes, no. If we find the stone circle, perhaps stand in the positions and see if anything more comes to us. Michael, we can't just hide away forever. We have to find out what's going on.
Yes, but we can't embrace this insanity fully.
I don't know. I think there's something curious about
I am sure there is a
dipping
rational
our toe.
explanation for all of this.
I don't think
I think
trying to reenact
rationality...
parts of any ritual in our dreams is a good idea.
They don't say reenacting. No. Just standing in place
The
and...
thing is, though, Rosa, I don't know if you necessarily remember, but remember that you remember striking the knife down towards the person in the ground. Yes, what you were aiming to do was cut the throat and the shoulders and the ankles.
Okay.
You want to take some more of that stability off?
Do I have to make another stability check?
No.
No. Okay.
Because that's
I
something you've already...
know... Yeah. I don't know if being rational is getting us very far.
Okay.
That is a line I don't want to hear in any sort of Cthulhu campaign. That is a bad sign.
Let's
Chris,
go!
you know the drawings that we have of
Let's
the
get
sort of
insane.
worm-like creatures or with the worm-like arms and hands. Do we know where
Yeah.
the worm-like arms and hands were coming from? Were they peculiar where these cuts were being made into the ankles and shoulders?
Doesn't seem to match up to you. No.
Doesn't. Okay.
Can I just check one other little thing?
So just double checking that it doesn't seem to. I don't think it does. And out. Doesn't look like it, no.
Handout 1 is the family photograph.
Yep.
That started all of this.
Yep.
The building behind, the house behind, is that the house that Mary now lives in, or have we not managed to find that building?
Yes, I think it's a house. It looks more like a schoolhouse to me.
It's the schoolhouse. Okay, right, that's fine. Okay. I'm not too sure about the stone circle and so on, but I think we should go and find this maiden house on Maiden Moor tomorrow.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I'd also like to investigate Betty Waring and see if I can find out anything more about what was going on with her.
Oh,
Could
Michael,
you send your doctor friend to do that for us while we go up to Maiden Moor?
I could, I suppose, if he was willing. It would be a little.
Where is his doctor friend?
It's in the village doctor.
Village doctor.
In
Village GP.
Keswick.
No, he's the.
His
Main
colleagues in the
You got a
local
colleague in
doctor.
Keswick, yeah.
Because I think we have to go back to Keswick to go around up to Maiden Moor. If
No,
the
we can walk
directions
there
from that
direct. We can walk there direct from here.
Ah.
That's what that
I
old
see.
man we spoke to said.
You could walk there direct, or you could use a tractor or something.
Sorry, I thought that the directions were
Mountain bike.
had to
Well,
go
if you
back
want
to
to if you want to take an ordinary car, then as far as I understand, if I am reading the maps correctly, at this time you would have to. I don't think.
I think trying to drive a vehicle up there with those contours that close.
No, you're not going to drive them up the Maiden Moor itself, but you can at least get yourself across to the other side of Mainstay Park. Well, you're pretty close actually, aren't you?
Yeah.
You could walk it from here.
Yeah, I think
You could
the
walk
sensible
it from
thing
the
to walk
village.
it. It's a good brisk walk tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So with that, I think everyone returns to bed. Yes.
Yeah.
Planning a vigorous walk in the morning.
Do you recover anything like stability points for sleeping?
No.
Shit.
There is a button that says 24-hour.
Yes, you may press the
Refresh.
24-hour refresh button. That will give you your general ability points back if you spent those.
Okay.
Since kind of isn't that kind of scenario. Right.
Where's that? Oh yes.
24-hour
24-hour refresh, not full refresh.
Not full refresh, no.
I think full refresh is obviously a much longer period of time.
I don't think that recovered anything for me.
No,
So
we haven't really spent any of the
I
general
haven't
stuff.
spent any of
No.
the general points, no.
Not pushing you hard enough. Okay. Okay, so sleep. Fish and wake up in the morning.
Is that a good point to leave it for the night? Because it's.
I think it is. I haven't got any big cliffhanger for you this time, I'm afraid. It's you go to sleep expecting a vigorous walk in the morning.
Alright.
You let me see. Tom Jonesy, sorry, you're
Yes.
up first, bright and early to get the breakfast off Ada. She's taken quite a shrine to you. You're sat downstairs when Jeffrey comes walking into the room. He looks a bit surprised to see you. He says, "Hello. You're Michael's friend, aren't you?"
Yes, and you're Michael's brother, I believe.
Yes, that's right. He thrusts his hand into his jacket He's looks nervous, embarrassed, and he's holding his hand hidden in his jacket as he walks past you. Says, "Tell Jeffrey, I've got to go somewhere. He'll understand where.
Tell Michael.
You understand where, don't you?
He is.
Michael, sorry, got that the wrong way around. Tell Michael I had to go somewhere. He'll understand where, and I think you know as well, don't you?
Breakfast first, old boy. Breakfast first.
No time. It's today. It's today. And he reveals his hand for just a second, and you can see that the skin has sloughed away off his finger, leaving nothing but a worm.
Sorry, no cliffhanger to lead us on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
End scene. That's it. Fade to black. No more. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right.
Over the campaign, that's it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm writing down a note that is literally Jeffrey has a worm finger.
Very good.
I didn't think we were the monsters.
Right, should we leave it there then? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good place. That's a good cliffhanger as well.
Okay.
Right.
I hope that was up to scratch.
Thanks for watching.
Thank
Absolutely.
you very much.
Thanks for watching, and bye for now.